All right, figured I would round out the plant tour. So this is my little plant rack that I just have in my living room area. Normally it's not on this wall. Normally it's on a different wall where it gets a little more sun. We just had it over here because of Christmas, and I just haven't moved it back yet. So we got a Hoya multiflora, or the shooting star Hoya. This thing normally is constantly in bloom, but it's getting a lot less light right now, or it's just taking a rest. It's got peduncles all over it. Great plant if you want something super easy to take care of, though. We got a Sherry Baby Oncidium. I actually got this from a coworker for our Secret Santa at work. So that shows how much I talk about orchids all the time. Somebody felt the need to buy me an orchid for Christmas. So this one is Alocasia tanderusa, or Alocasia Jacqueline. This is quite a finicky little plant. Mine just started actually growing not that long ago. Put out a couple new leaves. The older leaves are starting to fade and die off. I actually went back to the nursery where I bought this, and the majority of them are actually almost dead. So I don't feel so bad that mine has struggled a little bit, and I kind of anticipated that, mostly because that's what you hear about them, is that they're kind of hard to establish. And once they do get established, though, then they start to grow. So we're learning. All right, on to the Neos. So I had a Neo somewhere between 5 and 10 years ago, but it was just grown in in some bark, and didn't know about the whole moss mound thing. I had some luck with it, but I wasn't all that into them. I just kind of thought it was it was just a standard white form. I just thought it was another type of mini Vanda. I didn't realize that they were like the whole culture and everything around Neos. So once I kind of learned about that, and especially, growing them in the moss mound thing and all that, and then I got kind of obsessed with them, and so I bought a bunch since then. I will buy more. I have a list, which I think every Neo grower has a list of them that they want to get. But these are the ones I've gotten so far. So we got Nishidemiyaku, which this one throws a lot of interesting morphs. Specifically, one of the more desirable ones is it's essentially the exact same plant as this, but it's like a miniature dwarf version of it without being a bean leaf. So we'll see what that one throws out. Then we got Gojo Fukurin, which is just, as you can see, it's much more variegated than the other one. This one is absolutely stunning when you have a specimen size plant of it. Back here we got Fugaku. So this is an unstable variegation form. So as you can see, some of the leaves are, half variegated, half normal. Some are just green. Some are almost completely variegated. Some are interior variegation. Some are just marginal variegation. So that one's interesting. Each growth it throws out is kind of its own little work of art. And then this is probably my absolute favorite. Do it down here. Favorite plant I have. This is Succoden. It's, yeah, I mean, how can you argue with that? That's just the coolest looking little plant. Really nice little bean leaf. Then we got, this is an Amami Island form. So this came off one of the private plants at the local orchid nursery. And so I don't really know if it's any sort of named variety or anything about it, really. It's got some interesting purple coloration to it that I really enjoy. And then, it throws the, giant flowers, the twice as big as normal Neo flowers. Back here we got Shuteno. Fantastic pink, pinkish purple flowers. This is Kibana, which is a Ascophoenicia hybrid with Neofinetia. And as you can see, it's throwing out these two giant side roots. Not really sure what's going on there, but it can stop at any point in time that it wants. This one throws out yellow flowers, which are quite pretty. And then we got Onami Seikai, just a highly recurved leaf, bean leaf. Really pretty one, too. Got a Paphiopedilum, magically mystical. It's just a black Paphiopedilum flower. I have since learned that I am not all that into Paphiopedilums, mostly because the 2-year cycle on blooming is just not for me. So maybe if I had another one that would, be offset, every year, so I got flowers every year, I'd be more into them. And maybe I'll get another one just to see if that helps with the issue that I'm having with them. But yeah, so far, not a huge fan. I get the appeal, just not for me. And then we got a jewel orchid. I love jewels. I think they're beautiful. Even if they don't have the showiest flowers, their foliage is just stunning to me. So usually I always have one of them around. And then got just a Hoya Rosita. And then we got a Pinguicula. I can never remember which one this is. It's either a Lurzier or a Syriana. One of them has pointy leaves, one has round. This is obviously the round leaf one. And then I got a Pinguicula Gigante back there. I love pings. I have just realized they're not exactly the plants for me. This one's doing fine. That one's doing okay. I've killed a couple other ones. Yeah, they're just not quite my type of plant, which is fine. You don't have to be, perfect at growing everything. So, and then this is Dendrobia moniliforme. So this is a new species for me. I've never had these ones before, but they've kind of captivated my attention recently, mostly just because they're grown with neos. So this pot that I have it in is actually just I just designed this in, some CAD software and 3D printed it. Kind of, based on the traditional styled Japanese pots for them. But yeah, this is Cayubini, which I believe has pinkish flowers, although I have seen it, I believe, with white flowers, so won't know until it blooms. And then we got Kinsuru back here, which is the yellow cane and then variegated form. These are just super cool. When they're backlit, the canes just like kind of glow. I just think that's the coolest. So we'll see how these two do and what I can do with them, and we'll go from there and see if I end up with more of them. Then we got Hisui. This is just a standard growth form, but it has green flowers. Hisui, I believe, means jade in Japanese. Uridoshi, little pine needle type, so really, really spiky little guy. These ones actually don't tend to flower that much, and if they do, I've heard that it's terminal for the growth that it flowers from, or it can be. And they almost act like a tillandsia, like when they shoot out a flower spike and then the main growth will die back, but they pop out like crazy after that. This is just another bean leaf type, Myeongak. Really cool. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm not exactly sure pronunciation on that. I love the mud root color. And then last but not least, this is probably my favorite non-bean leaf, non-variegated one. This is Yubei. It's got yellow stem and yellow spurs with pink flowers, which basically just means it's got Ascophoenicia in its background somewhere as well. More than likely an Ascophoenicia. Really, really, really pretty plant. So I will definitely keep you updated on any major growth changes or any flowering that we have going on. Have a good night, guys.